tell you a long story, and then we'll finish this conversation after lunch, okay? Did you get it? This is very important that you do get this, okay? So make sure that you have it. Full and timely disclosure, reduced to writing no later than the offer of purchase. You with me so far? We will beat it to death when we get back from our lunch, okay? Did you get it? Okay. Let me tell you a long story. There was a firm in Charlotte. This firm is a buyer agent only firm. We haven't talked about this yet in the notes. It'll come up just so you out in a minute. But there are some firms that literally work only for buyers. There's one that's actually called for home buyers only. All right? By the way, do you know why a firm would work for home buyers? Do you know what their compelling argument is? If we only work for buyers, there will never be a what? There'll never be a conflict of interest. It is an interesting argument. Other agents have the ability to offer that same thing, but this is kind of their sales pitch. They're a buyer agency only firm. Upon investigation, there was a complaint to the commission. Upon investigation, here's what the commission learned. This buyer agency only firm happened to be selling a lot of their buyers to this one builder in the Charlotte area. Now, in fairness to the firm, this one builder built in several different subdivisions in Charlotte, and they were at a really good price point, around a couple $100,000 or so, right? So anyway, but it's just statistically, it's a statistical anomaly that they happen to be selling so many of their buyers to this one builder. Why do you think this builder was getting so much of their business? Let's get what? Kickback bonuses, okay? Which, by the way, are not illegal. They're not illegal. But literally the bonuses were pretty big bonuses. I mean, these were only a couple of $100,000 homes, and the bonuses were somewhere in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. Now keep in mind, it's a bonus. It's on top of the 2.5% commission that the buyer's agent was already getting. So they're getting $5,000, 2.5% of the $200,000 home, $5,000, plus a bonus that is almost as large, okay? So the commission investigates this and learns that, okay, this is not a coincidence. This buyer agency only firm just happens to be selling all of their buyers to this one builder who just happens to be offering really big bonuses. Who does it look like this buyer agency only firm is working for? It's beginning to look like they're working for the builder. I mean, this is statistically impossible that they're selling so much business there. It appears that they're actually working for the builder in this particular case. So the commission shows up, they're investigating based on a complaint, and the firm defends itself by saying this. It said, listen, don't write this down because these are our old contracts. Our old buyer agency agreements that the buyer had to sign said something like this. Obviously, it had a place for how much I was going to make, 2.5%. But then in parentheses and italics down below that, it actually said that if there is in fact a bonus or additional compensation, buyer agrees that agent can receive said as compensation, said bonus as compensation. Okay? So the firm defends itself by saying, look, right here, commission, it says if there's a bonus, that the buyer has already given us permission to accept it. And the commission said, well, yeah, we're not arguing that the bonus is illegal. What we're arguing is that this should have been disclosed to the buyer, that you were receiving this big bonus. Okay? Don't you think that the buyer would have an interest in knowing that they bought a house and you got a $5,000 bonus? I don't know how well you know developers, but I'm telling you, that $5,000 did not come out of the developer's bottom line. This was clearly built in to the transaction. So the buyer was actually paying more. Okay? Regardless of that fact, the commission is saying it's not illegal, or not a violation of rule. What the violation of rule is that it was not disclosed to the buyer. So back in 2008, I think it was, I had to teach a CE class where the commission came out and basically said, guys, we need to re-present this rule with some tweaks to the agents and help them understand this. Your compensation, including the 2.5 that you were getting to start with, should be disclosed to the buyer and obviously the bonus as well. And it should be done fully, and it should be timely, and it should be in writing at the appropriate time. Okay? So now I'm teaching this class, and I'm telling people about this, and they just say, oh, you mean the bonus has to be disclosed? I said, no. What I'm saying is, all of your compensation, if it comes from a third party, has to be disclosed to your client. Okay? Now think about this for just a second. I keep talking about third party compensation. The listing agent doesn't run into this problem very much, do they? Who pays the listing agent? The seller pays the listing agent. How does the seller know how much they're paying the listing agent? They have a listing agreement, and it says in the listing agreement exactly how much they are paying. But on the buyer agent, on the buyer's side of it, we have to disclose this, and our buyer agency agreement is one place where we do it. So now I have just told this to the agents. You have to disclose all third-party compensation. And a lot of the agents said something to the fact that, oh my gosh, this rule makes us sound like we're criminals. To which I said, well, some of you work. Okay, I mean, how can you receive these big bonuses, acting on behalf of your buyer, and not believe that your buyer should be fully informed of this? That doesn't even square with agency to me. Okay, let me see where we are on time. We are past time. So you're going to have to wait for the rest of this story after the break. It'll be like a cliffhanger, and so you'll get it when you come back. I have that at 12:30.